Hi, welcome to Parametric House. In this Grasshopper tutorial, I want to show you how you can make this parametric structure in Grasshopper. This algorithm helps you to produce a mesh structure like this. As you can see here, you can also produce cantilevers and give it like a central column for the structure, or with two columns, as you can see here. And I'm going to explain how you can use this cluster to produce the final results. So when you download the example file, you will have two files. One is the cluster and one is the example file. In this video, I'm going to explain the cluster and how you can use it to produce the form. And also in the download video tutorial, I'm going to explain the components of this algorithm step by step, so you can understand how to make this yourself in Grasshopper. Okay, let's go back to the cluster. And as you can see here, there is the first input is the rectangle, which is the rectangle you want to produce the structure on. It's really important that you put it in the XY direction. So I'm going to put it here. As you can see here, I can also scale it. And let's give this to the curve inputs. Right click, set one curve, and we will have this curve here. The second input is the point. So what I want to do is to right click here and set multiple points. But remember, for the points, you have to have those points on the edge, which is in the lower part, because the algorithm is going to project that point or those points towards the Y direction, the plus Y direction, and will give another point in the next edge. So the only thing you have to do is to put those points in this edge. So I'm just going to click here and say I want to put the columns near these points. After we produce the points and give the points, you can see that's going to produce the structure. You can also use the Control Shift to select this edge and maybe move it a little bit forward and make the top part a little bit bigger. Okay, after we have produced the rectangle and the points, we will have the rows. The rows is a number between 0 and 1. A number which is near the 0 is going to bring the columns towards the edge. So the minimum is like 0.1, because the 0 is going to give you an error. You can change this rows to maximum 0.5, which is going to put the columns at the center if you want to make a single column for the structure. For the length factor, because this is using the Kangaroo plugin, a 0 input for the length factor is just going to relax the mesh more, as you can see here, and a 1 is going to have a more stiff kind of mesh. The next thing you can change is the middle part height. So I'm going to put this to with more decimals and change that. As you can see here, this is going to change the height of the middle part we have here in the structure. So you can change that easily. Another thing we can change here is the column height. So if I increase or decrease that, this is going to increase or decrease the height of the column. So if you put this to 0, you can see it's going to sit on the ground. So maybe you want to don't have any columns. That is also possible by changing the column height number. Okay, let's go back to the last inputs, and the top part height is the height we have at the top. You can also change that to produce the final mesh. And at the end, you will have the mesh as an output. So if I just bake this mesh. So if you bake the mesh, you can see the final result is going to be something like this. At the end, the only thing I want to add is that for the points, be aware that don't put the points at the corners, because it's not going to give you any results, because it can't project on the other edge. So be sure to just put this a little bit forward at the corners. And as you can see here, I can put like 2 points at the corners and produce something like this. So as you can see here, if I make a rectangle and put these 2 points at the end of the corners, not exactly at the corner, you can just produce a mesh something like this. And also if you put this to 0.5, obviously it's going to give you with one column. Okay, at the next part, we're going to take a look at the algorithm and explain it step by step. So stay tuned and download the video tutorial. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just ask below this lesson, and see you next time.